Welcome to this week's edition of Future Ready Insights, your go-to source for the latest developments in artificial intelligence and practical advice to enhance your business strategies. My voice sounds a bit odd or croaky this week because it seems to be the start of the hay fever season in southern Spain, which is where I am studying my PhD in AI ethics right now. Blossom is on the trees, along with some great weather, but I'm definitely not planning to say goodbye to the freezing cold though. So on to this week's headlines, and this week I thought it'd be really helpful and interesting to mention news from some of the different large language models that are available that you can try. So let's kick off with our first story. OpenAI's plans for GPT-5, so we're currently on 4. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman outlined his company's roadmap. GPT-4.5, internally referred to as Orion, is set to be the final model without chain of thought capabilities. And then following Orion, GPT-5 will integrate various technologies, including the recent O3, which aims to create a more unified and versatile AI system, which will have a chain of thought. That kind of means connecting ideas and logically progressing through a problem. So like having a discussion with a real person. So we might see a bit more of a challenge in some of the discussions rather than you just requesting something and then with an answer. There might be more of a challenge and thinking, well, yes, I know you wanted that, but have you thought about the impact of doing this? What might your customers say? That would be quite amazing if that's the case. So these next models are going to be available in different intelligence tiers based on user subscriptions. So at the moment, we only see kind of 1 or 2 subscription models in OpenAI, or for ChatGPT, I should say. But that sounds like we're going to start seeing that expand. So while specific release dates have not been disclosed, Sam mentioned a timeline of weeks to months. So it's going to be imminent. It'll be really interesting to look out for. If it's anything like some of the more recent things like Sora, those are still only really available in the US. And so whether this is going to be a global change or it might just be for certain territories, that will be really interesting to see. Additionally, this week, you might have read about Elon Musk's nearly $100 billion offer to acquire OpenAI's non-profit arm, and that was recently declined by the board. More on that story from The Verge. Pop the link in the notes underneath. Second story of the week, kind of connected with the first one, Sam Altman's vision for AI integration with digital identity. So his project World, formerly known as WorldCoin, developing tools to link AI agents to individuals' digital identities. And the initiative aims to enable users to verify the authenticity of AI interactions by connecting them to real online personas. The goal here is to enhance trust and transparency in AI communications, ensuring that users can tell the difference between genuine human interactions and AI-generated content. More on that from TechCrunch. Have a look at that if you're interested. Our third story looks at a different platform, Copilot, more AI functionalities. I know myself in my Office 365, I can see more AI things appearing, and I haven't upgraded Copilot yet. So there's different things, different expansions happening in Word, Excel, and Teams, as I mentioned. Our next story, Perplexity, is an interesting platform. We've already used it. It launched in 2022. But it's under scrutiny for allegedly using content from various media organizations without permission. I think it's a story that most platforms struggled with. But to give you a bit more history about the company, it's co-founded by ex-OpenAI researcher, and they're aiming to raise $500 million at an $8 billion valuation at the moment. So if you've not tried Perplexity, go and check that out. It's not really a new story, but it's our fifth and final point. Have a look at Claude AI. I rate that for a lot of academic content, and some of the responses that I've seen from Claude AI, I've liked because it goes into a little bit more detail and provides some different types of answers. So go and check out Claude AI. On to this week's actionable insights. So we're going to start looking at business analysis, and this advice is starting with a real problem. So one of the biggest mistakes businesses make is jumping to solutions before fully understanding the problem. And business analysts use techniques like the 5 whys. So asking why repeatedly to get to the root cause. This isn't about causing an argument, but it's about getting to the bottom of why things are happening. So instead of assuming you need a new system because processes are slow, Why is it slow? The answer might lead you to a simpler, more cost-effective fix. This is what we're kind of aiming for here. So like better training or automation, rather than just go out and buy an expensive new tool. So great decisions start with great questions. Those are the 5 whys. So have a look at the 5 whys. What can we use as an actionable insight with AI this week? AI is only as smart as your questions, but it really depends on entirely how you use the tools. What is the key to getting valuable insights from using AI tools? And the first one really is about learning how to prompt effectively. I've been practicing a lot with prompts this week. So here's an example. So instead of asking, tell me about customer trends, be specific. What are the top 3 customer buying trends in my industry in the past 12 months? So note the difference there. But that right question transformed and that AI tool from a generic tool into a strategic asset. That's what we've been really helpful to you. It's going to save you time. It's going to give you better insights, better results, more information that you can use in your job or for your organization. 2 more tips. Data protection, and this is about collecting data. So if you collect data, you need to protect it. Email addresses, payment details, even browsing behavior. If you're collecting it, then you're responsible for keeping it secure. UK GDPR requires businesses to only collect what they need, keep it safe and delete it when it's no longer needed. There was a news story this week, I think, about a Spanish hotel chain. They got fined for asking for people's copies of their passports. It's just not necessary. So a simple action you could take away today: to review what data you're holding and whether you really need it. Less data means less risk if a breach happens. So you're kind of protecting your organization and yourself from the long term. There is a link which directs you to the ICO and their guide to data protection. And a final tip for the week is on IT leadership. Technology is the easy part. People are the challenge. I've heard this quite a few times. So leading IT teams isn't just knowing about the latest tech, it's about helping people embrace change. One of the crucial skills is storytelling. So instead of saying, we're implementing cloud services, try a different angle. So this new cloud system will cut admin time by 40%. So you can focus on bigger projects. This is maybe how you might want to sell it to your team or maybe to someone who's not that tech savvy. People resist change. This is what you have to think about. Hopefully, all these actionable insights are helpful for you to review and use in your role or your organization. And let us know if you've used any of them. Let us know some of your own tips as well. Just leave them in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Or you can email me, darren@ducodigital.com. That's all for this week. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you next week.